and I hit.
No!
Yes.
The glass.
I hit the glass. Like, bong. You need to calm down, Janet.
Tangents and Waffles podcast.
Sorry, trying to get in this is like trying to get into a suitcase.
This is 2 meters, honestly. It's really weird because like my leg blends into the cushion and your jumper blends into the wall.
This is the worst colour to wear. And I look like a bloody ghost of Christmas.
You look like the kid that's been forced to wear the jumper for the nativity.
I have you know this jumper was very expensive and it cannot be machine washed. It must be hand washed only because it was made of sheep.
Okay, well...
Don't judge me in my choices.
Our aunt used to knit those.
Well, I like it and it's giving me eczema. Did you see the other day I messaged you on Facebook with the Hessian bath lily?
Oh, Beth literally came in as that message came up and we both looked at it and just peed ourselves.
I kill it before it lays eggs.
That was the bit that made us laugh. And I was like, supernatural gift, straight away, gun. And there was a rocket launcher one, I couldn't find the gift, so you just had to have that bit. But
it was awful.
I mean, it's like 2 of your like biggest fears.
A bath lily.
Is that what they're called?
No, so apparently they're also called shower puffs. So you have a shower puff and you have a bath lily. Or some people call them shower exfoliators. I don't actually think they have a name, but there was loads of articles online telling people to get rid of them by doctors because they cause bacterial infections.
Which is weird because I don't know how many times I've actually used it because I've thrown it away now. But I just literally hung it on my bath tap and I used it to make the bubbles bigger.
Like frothy.
Yeah, because they go through the net.
They do lather up amazingly.
Yeah, so that's really what I used it for. I've still thrown it out. I should have kept it. I wanted to cut it open. But I don't know how many times I've actually used it to scrub myself.
You just use it. Well, I guess if
I
you're
use my
just
nails.
I use Grammarly. This video is
It's free. I would like to get you sponsored.
Full stop.
Yeah. Because I got Grammarly, so I know that's the end of a sentence.
Like. That's something in
the
the new year that I would like to get rid of, is using connective junk words. So stories sound more compelling as opposed to... So, like, I was talking to this girl, like, and I was like, I turned to her, like, editing myself is the worst I've ever had.
I want somebody to take one of your videos and just put a like counter at the top. Maybe that's what the clicky things at the bottom is. Every time
it says like,
somebody new has to click that.
Other words I use, obviously, literally, anyway.
I use literally.
So, and, there are so many. I'm going to have no vocabulary left. It's just going to be, hello, goodbye.
I don't know. Nope.
Well, today, hello and welcome to Tangents and Waffles, the podcast where we go off subject more than we do. Is that a good log line? I'm trying to think of a log line. We go off subject more than we are on subject.
We go off subject more than we stay on topic. I don't like having the same word twice.
Well, see, you're the linguistic one, and I'm the one that just says like.
I just write really bad fanfics.
Which you can see in the description box below.
Don't you dare!
And also, we got rid of the plant because Jodie hated it.
Yeah.
And it's
and Talinda.
So
we just change our tops.
We just changed our tops, and I decided to give my hair more volume.
And the potato, because looking back at that footage.
Oh my word. I don't know what happened. It looked like... Honestly, I could have filmed it with a jacket potato, and it would have looked better.
You could have filmed it with the jacket potato while it was being baked.
I could have filmed on a pinhole camera from the 1960s.
You still got that pinhole camera?
Okay.
You had those glasses, Cameron. You were going to do like
Oh yes, and Spy on Britain's Got
behind the
Talent.
scenes of Britain's Got Talent.
I
which
was asked to go back on Britain's Got Talent Christmas.
maybe we should save that for a new
And
podcast.
I was not. So I was originally asked back. I went to the rehearsals.
You were so stressed.
I was very stressed. They still haven't given me clothes back.
They've still got your clothes.
Still got my clothes. And then it's going out on Christmas Day, and they've not asked me to be part of it anymore. Hang on, when's this video going out?
Oh, it'll be after Christmas. This will come up.
So it's already been on telly, but I wasn't in it. There was 3 impressionists and they cut it down to 1. Anyway, I'm going to leave that in 2001. And we're going to discuss...
2001.
I don't know, Jennifer. Shut up, Sharon.
That's when I started Thorpe Park.
And we're going to talk about
And there's the link.
more stories about Thorpe Park, but specifically stories relating to hauntings. And
Oh, are we? I need to change my list.
yeah, we'll
No,
just
that's
discuss Thorpe Park. But there are things that happened, I know specifically in X No Way Out, which is now not X No Way Out. It's
I don't know.
It's not X No Way
It
Out.
now goes forwards.
And it's not X No Way Out.
It was never. Do you know that
It's
ride?
a zombie ride.
Is it?
It's The Walking Dead.
Oh, is that what the Walking Dead stuff was all about? Because they never finished that ride. You know, they never finished it.
Do they not?
No, it was supposed to be. It was X No Way Out because the idea was it was like a futuristic, like robot had taken over the ride, and that's
Wasn't
why
it
you go
X-Files?
backwards. No,
I thought it was X-Files because it had the same font as X-Files.
oh, that's probably just Oh, that looks good. We use that.
I swear it was X-Files.
Maybe I've never heard that. That's news to me. But yeah, it was supposed to be a computer that's like taken over, and that's why so every time it stops, it was supposed to tell you part of the story,
Oh, okay. And it never did that.
and it never did that.
They were just like, it's just going to stop here.
Where a ghost is going to scare you, and then we'll put a mannequin there, and then you're going to go backwards to the next bit, and then get
It
off.
turned into a disco at some point.
Oh, God, no.
So if you're new to this video and podcast, we
Some
both
people.
used to work at Thorpe Park. We didn't work there at the same time. You worked there before I did. And we have stories. There was rumours that there were 2 ghosts in the Thorpe Park premises. And one roamed the park and one roamed
And
X
I
No Way Out.
remembered her name.
What was it? Mary?
It was Annie.
Oh, see, I thought it was Mary.
Yeah, I think it was Annie. Because we had a psychic come in.
Oh.
And she spoke to them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where was this? In 4D Pirates? Which is like a cinema.
The 4D cinema, Pirates, yeah.
It's like a cinema that you get wet in. And not in a fun way.
It's a 3D cinema, and the 4D is you feel it as well.
Yeah,
So,
I
like,
remember
the
there's a
chairs
part
vibrate.
with the bees and it buzzes and it's not very good.
There was bees? I don't remember bees.
Yeah, there were bees.
I remember the
enjoyed
bats. Oh, no, yeah, there was bees. Yeah, I remember now.
it. Yeah, there was bees and it was
All I
horrid.
remember is my name's Davey, and I just switched off because I'd heard it like 50,000 times.
You're
so-
like, next.
yeah, I was just like, oh, phone. Which, no, I'd never had my phone on me at that point, honestly. I was so bad. I used to take books in.
Oh, I would.
Well, no, you think about it. If you're doing a ride where all you have to do is stare at the cameras, you want to fall asleep.
Yeah.
So
Square eyes.
I used to like check, read a line of my book. Check, because it would keep me awake.
Yeah.
Even though we weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
But I felt it helped me
Helped
be
you
better
active.
at my job.
It's the same way. If you're a lifeguard, you have to do cycles of 15 minutes. So I used to work in entertainments and you used to work in rides. We used to do 15-minute meet and greets as the costume characters, and then you would have 45 minutes off.
Did you have to put those costumes on?
We used to have to put Milton Febreze in them every time. In the height of summer, I would go out in Daffodil the Cow. Ollie the Octopus was worse. Dripping with sweat.
The worrying thing is you weren't the only one
Yes.
who wore that. Obviously, when I do the costuming, we have a lovely lady who does an e-walk.
Yeah.
So, and we had one day when one of her fans, because they have a fan inside the lid, and one of them broke.
Oh,
So she had only half. And when she took that costume off, bless her, we were
wet.
like really secluded. And she just took it off straight down to her underwear and just laid down. When she got up, there was just this like outline of this wet person.
like a dead body figure.
I wanted to draw
In GTA
chalk
5.
around it,
Yeah.
you know. And that was just from one fan breaking.
Yeah.
So, and that's just her that's getting back into that next
Yeah.
time. So for somebody else to have to wear...
Well, that's why we used to Milton it. But we would have a 45-minute break and only go out for 15 minutes. And that was enough.
You didn't feel like you needed a break. When your job's fun, you don't need a break from it.
No. I remember sitting on the sofa for 45 minutes and I couldn't believe that I was being paid for that. This is boring, I remember saying to myself. And we would just go on my phone. I'd have like a view to... Oh, it doesn't matter. We were allowed to because we weren't in...
Yeah, it depended where I was.
Yeah.
But you got to think, I was there... What year did you start? Can you remember?
So I would have been 16, which is... Many moons ago.
You know how we used to do those like big after work parties?
The
socials.
They were incredible.
Amazing.
May I say that the socials were incredible?
It was one of these socials, I can't remember, and all I can remember is she was the girlfriend of a member of staff who I worked with. He brought her to this social after she'd spent the day in the park. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't think she lived like really close.
So
I think
she'd
came
been around
down-
the park as a visitor and then
Yeah.
did this social as a psychic.
No.
Oh.
She just came, visited the park, and then he was like, because he invited her
Come
to
to
the
the
social.
social.
So she was like, rather than just turn up in the evening, go to this social and go home, I might as
She's
well
gonna
come
go to the park.
spend the day in the park, and then go to this social
Feel
afterwards.
really sick, vomit on detonator.
And then get drunk.
Yeah.
And then... yeah, exactly. So she'd spent the whole day in the park, and she'd come in just to go on
Enjoy,
the rides
yeah.
and, you know, be a normal guest sort of thing. Obviously, she'd come on his staff pass and hadn't cost
Yeah.
anything. So she spent the day at the park. And afterwards, I remember, like, chatting with her, you know, on that balcony bit at the edge of the dome that overlooks
Yeah.
where the artificial beach is.
Yeah.
I was chatting to her there and just asking her, like, you know, how was your day? What did you go on? Everything. And she'd basically gone on so little because she ended up chatting with the ghosts.
What?
Yeah, apparently. Allegedly.
She'd chat with the ghosts.
Yeah, the
What?
Annie ghost
No
was
way.
really friendly and walked the park. She, like Fred in X,
Is
liked
not-
to scare people.
Right.
Liked it. Found it hilariously funny to scare people. And I can't remember exactly how it worked, but she said he was like one stage off being a poltergeist. Now,
Well.
but he liked to scare people. So he would deliberately do things in X to make people afraid.
And that's the ride, X.
Yeah.
So she spent the time, instead of going on the rides,
Chatting
talking
with Annie.
the ghosts that roamed the park.
Yes.
Did she say anything else?
She likes the 3D or the
Pirates.
4D because she likes seeing people smile. That's why she likes being in the park, because people are having fun. So apparently that, and I was chatting and I was really like skeptical of this, going like, all right, okay.
Okay, babes.
Weirdo. And then she went, she's here. And she pointed down to where the water is. And you know, like when you throw a pebble in the water and you get the ripple effect that goes out.
Oh, my tummy.
Yeah. There was a perfect, like, unrippled circle.
No.
Like a perfect circle had frozen. It was completely flat, but it was expanding.
How big was the circle?
Before I freaked out and ran off, it went from about like maybe a foot across to about 6 foot across before I pegged it.
Ooh.
It really freaked me out, and I don't get I walked across the park.
We're both very skeptical about these things.
If I can explain it, I'm fine.
Logical. Fright nights, they used to have different mazes open up, scare mazes, where it was the 3D freak show, and I remember the freezer, and then they turned it into they managed to get Cabin in the Woods. My experience isn't really a ghost experience, but it's something that scared me because I let my mind get hold of me at the time. I had to, one day, they asked me to go and retrieve something from the green room, which was
Behind the asylum.
Behind asylum at the time.
Freezer, whichever one it was.
Whatever it was. So if you imagine, it's about the size of a tennis court. It's about the size of a tennis court. And you have to enter through where the Top Rockers used to perform, which is a kind of character show stage thing.
It was like a bamboo stage that's that
big. With seating. Sorry, the camera died.
Climb back in
like a clambering dinosaur. A T-Rex trying to throw a ball or reach something on a top shelf. That's me. Got long legs but tiny hands, and I hold them very limply.
The annoying thing is your legs and my legs are the same length.
My body's
but
tiny.
You're so... No, but you're...
My legs are long, but
yes,
my body's
but your
tiny.
body is that much taller than mine that there's like a foot difference.
I love the way as well I'm having to sit in straddle. Like I'm...
You're loving the way you have to sit straddle.
I feel like Call on Me video. Call on me. That's how I'm having to sit, if you remember that.
I need to get that work.
When it was running, a guy with a chainsaw used to chase you out, and then you'd run out into a crowd of people looking like an absolute idiot.
Yeah, because they had the queue to go in.
Yeah.
Right by the exit.
Yeah, so you would run out because this guy would be chasing you, and you'd panic and you'd run out, and then you'd run out and you'd be like, ah! Straight out into the queue line, and everyone would laugh at you. Very clever. And I had to go through the back of this maze.
Was this when it was on? Or
It was on, but it was daytime. And the sounds were still playing. The windows were painted with a brown paint. So it would let light through, but it would
not much.
block. Yeah. It was, when I say it's a maze of cages.
Yeah, it's like chain mesh,
Cages.
mirrors.
Yeah.
So
it
it's
is
really
a
disorientating.
maze.
Yeah.
I walked through that back entrance. And when I say I was on my own, the sounds are playing. Instantly I walked in and I didn't like it. And I felt triggered. I felt very anxious.
But you're meant to.
Probably after I had 4 rock stars as well.
Or just come off one.
Yeah. Impending doom.
Yeah, go in the maze. You would feel like that. But...
got lost.
Oh no.
I am on my own in this maze.
The actors weren't in there.
No
though.
actors, but screaming sounds, shrieks, metal clanging, people like getting chopped up. I got lost in there. I couldn't work out. It was dark. I couldn't find it. I got lost. It took me 15 minutes to navigate my way through that maze.
It's not that big.
I got lost.
It's very disorientating. Because it's
disorientating.
like
Mirrors.
mesh, mirror, glass. But
I was
you can't
disorientated.
follow.
And as well, I'm not thinking, I need to get to the green room. I'm thinking,
I need
oh my
to get
God,
out.
what is this? Oh my God, there's a mannequin with a
Did they have like
leg.
the bodies hanging?
Yes, they had everything. So I'm walking through, there's fake bodies on butcher hooks. I'm
swinging.
I'm panicking. There's shrieks going through the back of my mind, and I'm trying to navigate through it. I think I see the entrance to the green room. I run and I hit.
No!
Yes.
The glass.
I hit the glass or mirror and bounce off of it. Physically bounce off of it. Like, bong. You couldn't write it. Bong off of it. Like, that is the only word. As if, comical sound. Bong. Off of this glass.
Please put that in the edit. Now.
It sounds like this. Off of the glass. And that is the thing that makes me think, you need to calm down, Janet. when my mind has run and run and run and gone with it, and I've gone, calm down, okay? Managed to get to the green room. 3 people sitting in there. Like
No clue.
No clue. 3 people sitting in there.
You're late.
Having their lunch from the top rocker show. I was dishevelled. I was dripping with sweat, face planted into this bong thing wall, and I.
Surprised you didn't break your nose.
I've done that
Again.
twice. They looked at me as if to say, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Oh." I remember. How'd you get through it? And they say, "Oh, we just go around the side."
No.
At the back of Nemesis.
Did they do that on purpose, like not tell
I
you?
think my managers did it on a nasty way, just to try to have a joke at me, and I was not having a joke because
I did things.
you did the same.
Well, when I was doing the 3D Freak show, they used to do like a staff walkthrough at the end.
Oh,
because
yeah.
you don't know if you're going to get a chance to go, because obviously everyone's working Fright nights.
Yeah.
So they were like, so they used to cover everybody. So I had this group of staff come as the last group that go through. So they went in to the first bit, and when you go in the first
Section.
there's like a little bit round to the side, and the first freak hides there
Yeah.
and follows you
Yeah.
for the first bit, and then goes back to do the
Yeah.
next person. So the last group you send through, when that freak comes out, you tell them that's the last group, and as they go through,
just follow
they
them.
tell all the freaks.
Oh,
so,
okay, so it comes like a congregation of freaks walking through.
Exactly, but they stay back because it's the same experience for everybody.
Yeah.
However, I'm a bitch. And I'm now at the exit because they're the last group to go through, so I don't have to cover the entrance anymore. So I'm at the exit.
Oh no!
So
Pulling the
they
door.
got pushing it.
Oh, so
I wasn't the only one. There was 4 of us.
So they
doing
can't
it.
escape.
So they've got to the exit, pushed it to come out. It's not opened because there's 4 of us leaning against it. They've turned round, and all the freaks. So they tried to run back. We've realised they're doing that, so we've literally just stepped a foot that way, and done the same on the entrance.
So they can't get out.
That's
hilarious.
I'm evil. However, 2 of my colleagues did get payback
Oh, how?
in the freezer.
Yeah, I didn't like the freezer. As you walked in the door, there was a woman that just went like this.
That hid behind the strobe
Yes,
lighting,
and she
so
went-
you didn't see until you walked
And
into
then
her.
she went like this. And it was scary. The freezer was horrible because it was just strobe, and Elsa was in there.
I refused to go through them.
Yeah. I actually quit before because it triggered me that much. And
Yeah.
I don't like horror. I don't like gore. It triggered me to the point where, after the induction,
Yeah.
I gave him my notice. And I never worked
You never worked a Fright Night?
Never worked a Fright Night because I was young, and at that point, I wasn't desensitized to horror. Now I can watch a thriller, I can watch a horror. I don't like
you're
gore,
fine now.
but I can watch it because I have a film kind of mind.
Yeah,
and I think
you do.
that's how they filmed that. And working in film as well, being lucky enough to have opportunities that have come up in the recent past. Everything for me is deconstructed, but at that time, it was very traumatic for me. And I found...
Which is weird, because when you came in when I was there, you just walked through that horror maze like it was nothing.
Yeah, but I closed my eyes.
Oh. And I did put you in the middle.
I don't...
And I did tell them not to pick on you.
But I can't do it. I can't... At that time, I was not able to... And it triggered me.
So you don't remember anything in there?
I didn't... I remember the last one that in the induction they took us through 7. As soon as I remember walking in, seeing,
Could have been
I think it
Sloth.
was Sloth, and there was blood everywhere, fake blood everywhere, may I say, and a sofa, the smell, it triggered me to the point where I was very much thinking, I can't work this.
If you were a bit older.
Which is why I actually enjoyed working at Emissions more, because it felt more retail and it didn't have that element of stress.
Yeah.
The park is very overwhelming. And for me, I was overwhelmed when I used to go to Thorpe Park. The same way if I go to London or I'm in a queue,
I can't queue anymore.
I can't deal with people.
I can't
queue in Tesco's. That is another thing that I need to express myself. I went to Tesco's the other night. I queued at 11:30 p.m. I queued for 45 minutes
No.
to get into Tesco's at 11:30 at night.
Oh my
I am
God,
sorry.
I couldn't do that.
I do not need bread that
The last
much.
time I queued for 45 minutes, I got to kiss Jason Momoa. So if he ain't at the end...
I'm not dealing with it.
Which, by the way, because of Thorpe Park, I organised it. I'll just take over.
I'm not queuing
stuff.
for bread for 45 minutes. I am sorry. I will go to small businesses from now until the end of time to queue for bread for 45 minutes. Thank you. I'm not a peasant. But I enjoyed admissions more.
You just have a peasant figure.
Yes.
Apparently.
Peasant.
Is that what it's called?
No, peasant and dancer. So long body, short legs, peasant. Long legs, small body, dancer.
Peasant. I just love that way.
I see you have a peasant body. Peasant. You've got to embellish the P. Yeah. You wouldn't go through the
I wouldn't go
mazes
through myself
yourself.
because, like I say, at the end of the Fright Nights, they used to let the staff go through.
Yes.
So I got covered on my ride, so I could go through. And I went with my two attendants on the day. Their names were Neil and Dan. I was supposed to go through with them.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll do it. I've been through when like the lights are on and there's no strobes.
You build
and there's
yourself
no
up.
mist.
Yeah.
This is the one you got lost in.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go through until I got there and then went, no, I'm not. So I waited outside because you get time off your ride. So I'm like, I've been stuck in this console all
go.
day.
Yeah.
I'm not like...
It's like, do you want a fag break? Yes. I don't smoke. Get me out of this cashier.
And they've put them, because you can't go through as a group of two, so they've put them with two members of the public.
Yeah.
So it's these two guys, you know, my members and these two girls, and they've gone through, and I'm just like stood there waiting.
Outside the maze.
And waiting. And waiting. And then one of the freaks comes out with a shoe and just hands it to me and walks off.
Okay.
And it's a Thorpe Park trainer. You know the high-techs they made us all wear? And I'm like...
Okay.
No clue. About 10 seconds after this, the two girls that went in with them came screaming out the exit, ran off the other way and just disappeared. And I'm like...
Okay.
Like, literally, what the hell is going on, right? And I'm waiting for ages. So they've obviously gone the whole way through.
Yeah.
Where's Neil and Dan?
So they're just stuck in there.
I've got no idea. And
you've
I've got to
got
get
one
back
shoe.
to my ride. I can't go back with just me. I need my attendants. And
you
I've
have the
got
shoe.
a shoe. So I'm like, what do I do, right? 2 minutes maybe after that, Neil just walks out like nothing happened. And I'm like, where have you been? He went, I can't find Dan. And I'm like, but Dan was behind him.
So
it was
Dan's just
Neil was
been
in front,
separated.
followed by Dan, and
On
then
hands
two
or shoulders.
Yes, and then these two girls, right? So Dan's just disappeared. Neil's turned round, and these two girls have just screamed and ran out because Neil's just
Just walking
Dan's
along.
just vanished, right?
And so Neil
I'm
has
stood
both
there.
Neil has both his shoes.
Neil has both his shoes. And so me and Neil were just standing there with his shoe. And I'm like, do I go back? Can I run tidal wave with one attendant? Technically, yes, because it's pitch black, no one's coming on it. So I'm like, what do I do? Where's Dan? Like, do I report him missing? Like, what's going on? Eventually, Dan has come hopping out of
Because his foot.
because I've got his shoe.
There you go.
And what's basically happened is they've recognised the freaks, the actors working in there, have recognised the Thorpe Park uniform, recognised Dan who worked with them the day before.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
you know those little hatches they had at the bottom so they can grab your ankles?
Taking his shoe.
They've pulled him through it.
No way.
And that's why he's
That's
lost
not
his
a big
shoe.
hatch.
Dan was a big guy, so it was
Yeah.
pretty big.
It must have. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Now that's traumatic.
Well, yeah, but can you picture it from Neil's point of view? Dan's like behind him, and all of a sudden he's just disappeared, and these two girls have run off screaming
because he's been dragged through that. No wonder why they pooed themselves and ran.
Yeah.
I would totally do the same. Those mazes really give me the jibs.
So that's why I didn't hold the exit closed anymore.
I'd have pooed. I would have literally pooed everywhere. I'd have bonged off the window and pooed. Surprised I didn't. It's been an absolute pleasure to do this again, and hopefully we will talk about more subjects
In about 5 minutes.
in about 5 minutes.
Which
'cause
you
we've
won't
got to
see for
block
4
film.
months.
I'll go and change my top so I don't blend into the wall. We will get this up on Spotify.
If we can figure it out.
It's very confusing. I'm sorry. Something about an RSS feed. I don't know. I do not know. It's a type of feed.
No, what does it stand for?
Really simple something. And it's really not. It's quite ironically not. And you have to pay for a hosting site or something. Don't get me started. I pay for enough sites.
Not signs.
And not the sign. Oh, you can't see it in this video. It's great. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode.
That's going to make it sound like it's actually there.
Yeah, it's not there. It will never be there. I hope you enjoyed episode 2 of Tangents and Waffles, brought to you by Jodie and Philip, aka Julian and Maurice. Cheeseburger. And we will see you in the...
Lala and Pit.
Lala and Pit. We have many nicknames. And we will come back to you in episode 3. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you very soon. I don't know.
Milk.